So, we doing 2 episodes today?
Today we're doing 2 episodes, and I look like an artist who should be performing at the Cafe of Poetic Justice. No, Love Jones. Find me at Love Jones, Cafe Love Jones.
Any more of my stuff you got on?
If I do, I won't tell.
All right, so welcome back to our channel, to Katina and Jones. I'm livingishe, and this is this beautiful woman here.
Lisa, also known as the Alkali Yogi. And we are
wearing computer glasses.
He's joined me this week.
Yeah, I think, mine, I just got the basic looking ones, but they are not prescription. They are strictly
blue blocks.
Blue blockers.
Matter of fact, if you guys,
electronics.
If you actually look at us, you'll see it looks like we've got blue circles. That is the blue light being reflected away from our eyes because we're being shielded and protected. And coming right back to the screen.
So yeah, just go to the Blue Blocker website if you want to protect your eyes from the, damaging rays of computers and phones and stuff like that. Go ahead and do it. But so we're gonna review Married at First Sight season 14, episode 14 and 15 today.
Because you missed us last week.
Yeah, and honestly, ain't much change. I don't think. And today we're not doing the mukbang, but we're doing the juice bang.
Because if you've been watching our videos, you know that we're doing a 30-day raw food challenge. Yay!
30 days. I'm good. I don't know.
I know. I'm struggling. I'm not going to lie.
I'm full.
So I'm not, but here we are. Today we're having some juice. Also courtesy of Revolution. All the people say Revolution. All the people say Revolution.
Revolution is the name, and juicing naturally and raw is the game. All right.
Cheers to you, by the way.
Jingle.
That's right. That was clever.
Pow.
Bottoms up.
Pow. What are we drinking? We drinking
definitely taste celery.
Freshly squeezed orange, celery, lemon, and then the green one, I can't remember what it is.
For sure there's apple. I can taste that as well.
We mixed we got a bag of orange and a bag of green juice, and we mixed them together. Compiled this lovely drink, and it's lovely. I'm telling you, this challenge is going well for me. I've been feeling like I'm getting full. I'm feeling energy because they give, we doing the also Purium, the supplements. It's natural food. It means making the supplements. But enough about that. Let's get on with the show, shall we? Okay. Married at First Sight, season 14, episode 14. And they entitled this, It's Just a Blip.
Bloop.
Ain't that a blip? So this is like day 43 in the marriages. And the show sends them off packing to Vermont for a retreat for 2 days. We see people getting Dunkin' Donuts on the way. They should be I don't know. Maybe they could cater in something. I don't know. I know there's better. I know there's real bakeries. You can get real pastries and stuff like that. But anyway.
Well, I don't know about Boston, but in NYC, we don't play.
Hey, well,
Best donuts in the world. Donut Plant. Lower East Side.
Okay. Now you
Flatbush Avenue, Brooklyn.
We're on a raw,
Chelsea, Manhattan.
Organic.
Queens.
Detox. All right, come on now. Mike and Jasmine, they having a conversation comparing themselves to Will and Jada. Now, of course, when this was filmed, it was before all the hoopla and all that craziness that just happened. So, yeah, they compared themselves. That's the wrong, they probably are like that as much as they fight. But so Mike is trying to find out where he stands with her back then. And, at this point, if they still ain't kissed or held each other close like that. I don't know, but it's not promising. So Mark and Lindsay, They make it to the cabin first. Well, it's a cabin. It's probably like 6 bedrooms, like 3 floors. It's got the deck and all this stuff. It's in the woods. It's secluded. It's by water. It's nice. They got the fire pit. I said the fire pit. Barbecue area and all this stuff. It's really nice. So Mark and Lindsay arrived first. So they're the first ones to pick a nice room. They picked the best room in there. That's what I like about them. They kind of smart in some ways. So then we realized that all the couples had the same idea. Everybody was trying to get there first to get the best room. So can you guess who was late? Like everybody got there. Mark and Lindsay were first. Can you guess who was late?
If I had to guess, I would say Noi and Steve.
Nope. But they got into a nice argument on the way.
Not a nice argument. Is there a nice argument?
Well, they argued about her social media post, and she said it's not directed at him, and so it's a non-directed versus directed because he feels the things are directed to him. She feels they are not. So Katina and Elijah Wan was late. I guessed them, and they was late and they got the worst room.
I'm surprised because Elijah Wan is so hardcore.
Yeah.
I thought he would have been more militant.
But he let Katina drive, so.
The shade of it all.
So, anyway, the girls get there and they head to the hot tub with some drinks, have girl talk. Guys are in the kitchen, chefing, trying to whip up some food.
How do you feel about that?
Talk.
The reversal of roles. I think that was intentional from production.
Yeah, it was weird.
They let the women relax and chill.
Yeah.
They put the men to work in the kitchen.
However, I think on this show, probably the men have better culinary skills than the women because you got Steve in there. Steve was actually making everything.
True.
They used him while he's slaving. They just chopping up veggies and they sit down and talk and have a beer.
You know why I think they did it that way?
Why?
Because, as I've said to you all before, I feel that MAFS now is deliberately going after people that look like supermodels. And it's good for ratings that not only do you put beautiful people on the screen, but you put them in itty bitty tiny bikinis.
So I don't think that they are any ugly people, but I don't think they're representative of the whole population.
Especially Katina and Jasmine. Come on now.
Yeah. They really cast some winners.
Some stunning girls.
Stunners, yeah. Mm-hmm. So what else happens? So this is at the getaway spot in Vermont. Mark talks about when they separated. Mark. Well, I take that back. The good cooks. We know that Mike can cook. As he cooked those shells and Italy stuff.
The lasagna
roll. And then Steve, you can cook. But anyway, Mark talk about him and Lindsay fighting. And, Lindsay always vomiting her feelings all over people. And Elijah Wan prays for Mike and Jasmine. That was nice of him. That's all he could do.
Brethren.
Yeah. Girls.
Brethren.
Yeah. And the girls say that they came a long way in their relationships. Not Jasmine. They the same. They didn't. Well, I guess they're a little bit better. But Elijah Wan's dropping some mature gems. Like he's saying, a strong statement hurts your feelings. It needs to stop. So, like, if it's a statement, like you got to use your tone. So that's when y'all need to, stop it. So Lindsay. Oh yeah. So what did Lindsay say? The screen said she's laughing hysterically, and the screen says laughing maniacally.
I think manically?
Manically. Maniac, like a maniac.
Yeah. Is it maniacally?
Maniacally.
It is? Oh, okay. I thought it was manically. Okay.
Manically is depressed a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, they're having dinner, and then, Lindsay says, one of you will not be leaving tonight. And then she starts laughing all crazy, and everybody just kind of stops in mid bite. And it's like, because, she is, who knows?
Special.
You can't like figure her out. Like, you don't know what you get. So then Lindsay also discussed their fighting is just a blip. It's not a big thing. It's just like a blip on the Richter scale. Just like boop. Like you can barely even notice it. Like it doesn't do anything. But why is she always breaking down every time they fight if it's just a blip?
I don't think it looks like a blip to us viewers. To us viewers, it looks like a volatile roller coaster that these two have been on.
It looks like Toxicville.
Like, I'm tired watching them. I could not even imagine living that roller coaster of a
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot. It's really a lot.
She's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, she is a lot. She is a lot.
And Katina and Elijah Wan, they said they didn't have no blips. So they, everybody trying to one up each other. Steve and Noy, they're embarrassed to speak about their blips because they
Wow.
blips about the social media and her getting off and him not having a job for her, But they don't want to discuss their blips. Like Steve is like ready to discuss all this
Yeah.
stuff.
I reckon it's also in part a cultural thing. I think culturally, a lot of minority groups don't air out their dirty laundry. I was
Yeah.
always taught as a child, what happens in the home stays in the home. We don't let the neighbors, we don't let the rest of the world know.
Yeah, I think that's how she felt.
She was raised, but he was raised in a mixed environment, so I think he's more transparent.
Yeah, because they had like I said, they had a big fight on their way up there, and everybody was putting their laundry on the table, and we got to Steve, and Steve was like, looked at her like, you want to discuss this, and she was like, mm-mm. When we get home, you ain't about to embarrass me.
Yeah. So probably it was mostly cultural, but there was maybe even a small percentage of her that didn't want to speak about it because she knows it's just wrong and embarrassing and immature.
Yeah,
Really
she didn't want to
intuitive.
be embarrassed at the table. For
Her argument is so weak to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a generational thing. What
her
say
argument
you?
about social media.
How she can post anything she wants on her page.
Yeah, I mean, she basically said it's my page and I post what I want.
Yeah. How do you feel about that as a man of a particular age?
Social media is a killer, if you take it too seriously and if you do too much, it's a lot of problems can come out of it. I would say her, I would think like if your partner says what you post upsets me or worries me, then you should listen. Because from their situation, from their perception, everybody's looking at you. I have friends on there. You have friends on there. I got family on there. They got family. We all following each other. Everybody's gonna talk when they see something. So try to keep your thoughts to yourself, or direct those thoughts and tell exactly who you're talking about. It's just timing is bad for that.
Yeah. I think that people treat their social media pages like it's their diary. But you don't have to let everyone know everything, every emotion. That's not to say that you cannot express it, that you can't get it out. As a matter of fact, you should sing about it, write about it. But why does it have to be on a page where you have hundreds or thousands of people that are watching the page, like you said, family members, friends, who are going to make assumptions? You're basically adding fuel to the fire. You're giving people things to gossip about.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would have to, why this is even a point of contention. I actually really do side with Steve on this. And again, it's probably a generational thing, but I think there are other forms that are available to her for her to express herself. A diary, take it old school.
Yeah, I mean, you got to learn because, I mean, I had a situation once in a prior relationship where I was posting stuff and it wasn't directed at our own situation. But you'd be surprised at how many other people will see something and get something totally different And then it gets back to your person. And they're like, hey, what's going on? You feel this way? I'm like, what? I thought it was just a joke, you know? It wasn't directed at us. It's just a joke. But you can't, like, apparently, when you're a couple, you can't post stuff about other couples who are doing bad because somebody's going to take that to think, oh,
He's speaking in code.
people are lurking, waiting to see some form of disruption in the force. You know, people want to see it go wrong. So, anyway, that's all that was about.
I just want to put this out there for all the young viewers who are watching us who may disagree with me and Ishé. Listen, you not posting about your relationship, it can't hurt and it might help. That's all I'm going to end with.
Yep. I mean, people post, you know, you got two types of people. You got people who post pictures of them and their significant others all the time. And to give a perception, you know, everything's cool. And you got the people who are not that, don't want to overshare like that.
Who are more private.
Yeah, more private. You know, I mean, you learn once. If you don't learn from the first mistake, you'll never learn. So she need to listen to Steve. That's her man. You know, she got to listen to him. He's going to be she want him to be the provider and the leader of the house, but she needs to start listening to him first. All right, so at this point, oh yeah, but when they was talking, if looks could kill, no, she shut down any conversation. So at this point, they got 12 days left, and then they go to the next day, and they're out having a picnic, and they playing with animals and stuff like that. Mike and Jimena.
Mike and Jimena?
Damn, I'm mixing up shows.
90-Day Fiancé before the 90 days.
Mike Cole and Jasmine, they have a meeting with a psychic medium to tell them what's going on, what they see about them.
That was different.
That was different.
Very different.
So yeah, this light worker who's clairvoyant, and she's gonna tell them, you know, what she sees in their future. And so we go to Lindsay and Mark. Now Lindsay and Mark, they woke up playfully. You know, Lindsay, her old playful self, she's over there messing with him, and he's like, "Oh, can I sleep?" or whatever. Then she says he's always the first one to bed and the last one up, and the first to nap. She be dropping stuff. She don't even know. Like, I know she joking all the time, but she jokes all the time. And they could be digs to somebody on the outside.
Yeah.
But if you know her, you know she don't mean any harm. But it's funny though. So anyway, they get in a fight because Mark hurt her feelings about, you know, calling her, I think it was ultra sensitive or hyper, yeah. And she got really sensitive about that, and he was just, you know, saying you a little too rambunctious. You know,
energy,
basically, yeah.
Strong, yeah.
But so early in the morning, like I'm a person. I need space in the morning. I need quiet. Like, I'm not used to this.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I wish that she had let him finish, because that was his way of explaining, I think, why he organized the sound bath. Is like, because you're a hyper person, right? Which doesn't have to be derogatory. It's not necessarily a compliment, but it's not derogatory as well. It really is just meaning like you're really high strung, you're way more energetic than I am. Because of that, I have decided to organize this to kind of help our energies kind of level out so that they're more, you know, because I'm here and you're here, the sound bath could bring us potentially here. I wish that she had let him finish that before she chimed in and got upset. Yeah,
she takes everything very internally, and she goes on making empty threats about, I'm done. You know, she's been saying that every episode. I think every single episode she says, I'm done.
I'm done with you.
Yeah, and I'm from the school where you say you done, then I'm taking you at your word. Like,
damn,
it's kind of hard to hear, you know, like, you're done. Well, I'm gonna ask you what you meant, but you know, as far as I think, I mean, what I know is when somebody say they done. So you let me know
Right.
what is this, but you can't keep saying that to somebody because the wrong person might be like, you keep saying you're done. I thought you was done.
Right. It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
So I can understand why you would take it as, well, if you're saying it, you must mean it. So
Yeah. I mean, I learned not to say things I don't mean. So, like, you gotta make sure when you say something, that's what you mean.
how did you, when you say you learned that, was it any one particular incident or was it a series of things that got you to that place?
Oh, just over time. Just over time. It's like, if you keep saying that to somebody and they're like, whatever, and then when you actually done and they don't believe you, then you like, I kept saying it, and they're like, well, what does that mean though? What you kept saying it like that's something you're not supposed to keep saying.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so they try to work that out, and then Elijah Wan and Katina, they go walking with some alpacas, which is a smaller llama. And one of the alpacas was walking and the placenta's falling out from her stomach, just like passing it through.
Right.
He just had a litter of little alpaquitos.
I wonder if she's going to consume that placenta to help stabilize her hormones.
I mean, that's what people do, yeah. But anyway, they walk and play with the animals, and then they have a little picnic. And they talk about balancing career and family, babies. And they get into a little argument, a little bit. Just easy with Elijah Wan. He's just so.
His way of thinking, I recognize because it's similar to mine. It's very linear. But life is not linear, so I'm still learning this as well. And I guess he could benefit from that too. You have to leave a little bit of leeway. Because he seems to make the argument that she can't have children in 2 years' time if she's completed her degree in 2 years' time, because she'll need time to build up her career. But people do it.
Yeah.
They find ways.
Everybody does it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he, the way he grew up has him in his mentality is a limited belief kind of mentality,
But he's been so unconventional thus far anyways by marrying a complete total stranger.
Yeah, he stepped out of his comfort zone by doing something he was not in control of.
Right. So let's rewrite everything then at this point.
Yeah.
You've already rolled the dice, so might as well keep rolling.
Yeah. And then we go back to Steve and Noy. So they try to just enjoy the vacation like what they should have been doing instead of fighting. They could do that another day, but, some people, they got to find out what's going on right now. They got to resolve it right now. And Noy is like, let's enjoy the place while we're here. So they do some physical activity. They do the roller, something that looks like, like a ski lift and...
the gondola. That's right.
They did a gondola.
Yeah, they did the gondola.
Yeah. And then they do some kind of racing down some hill. And they had, it looks like it was fun though.
Wait, was it like luge? I might have missed that. Like in the Olympics. Okay, because the gondola would indicate that it's probably there for skiing season.
Yeah.
But cool, yeah.
And then it looks like a bobsled thing without the bobsled.
A bobsled, that's what I was thinking, like a luge, a bobsled. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So that's what's called luge?
Luge is another... I think that the bobsled and the luge are slightly different in the mechanics, but they, if I'm not mistaken, kind of... Someone let us know, but don't they all kind of go downhill? And it's a speeding race of sorts?
Yeah, it's got curves.
Yeah. Kind of like Cool Runnings. Which was shot in Calgary, by the way.
Lovely movie. Big up. Boo, boo, boo. All right, so Mark and Lindsay, they discuss his joking with her because she wants an apology for being belittled and joked on. When that's what she does all day to him, but when he does it to her, she can't take it. Like she can dish out everything, can't take it. A lot of people are like that,
Sensitive people.
Yeah. Okay, so Mike and Jasmine, we'll go back to them. They finally with the psychic, and the psychic was spot on. Like she she could read like all of the stuff they've been through. Like she saw the trauma that happened to both of them, so she knows that both of them had lost people and very important people to them. And Jasmina was worried, because she don't know what the lady's going. She didn't know what the lady was going to pull out, but yeah, she was on point. And but the psychic did say that she sees them together, having twins. But then she kind of, she said that twins were in their future, and Jasmina coincidentally always wanted twins, so the psychic was on point with that. The psychic had given them encouragement, but at the same time, the psychic said, if this don't work, I could see you finding somebody, the Jasmina finding somebody in a year and a half or so, and Mike, it's gonna be 5 years for you, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, was that encouragement, or was that say, get the hell out, y'all be good? Like, you will be good.
Right.
You won't be suffering, but this guy, he's gonna be suffering for a while.
It was like sliding doors.
Yeah,
The film, you pick this, you make this decision, your life will go this way. You make this decision, your life will go that way. Both are available to you because we have been granted free will from the source, Mother Earth, universe, Allah, God, whatever you wish to call her. So which journey will you take?
Be careful of those doors. They have a meaning. So, she said, yeah, if y'all say no on the decision day, then that's what she saw. So,
And that they would regret it.
yeah, and they would regret
it.
being with each other. Yeah, because they won't find somebody who understands each other quite that way. Lindsay and Mark, they do a sound bath.
Finally. A much needed one.
You can explain what a sound bath is.
It's a really beautiful way of like harmonizing the chakras again. Because we are beings that vibrate at a frequency. Our heart rhythm vibrates at a frequency. Our breath rhythm is at a frequency. We are frequency, we are vibration and constant motion, and there's energy flowing constantly through the chakras. It's when the chakras get stagnant or when energy gets congested that Chinese medicine tells us is when sickness then enters into the body. It's the inhibition of the free flow of energy. So a sound bath is a really nice way because each chakra actually correlates to not only obviously the spine, because that's where the chakras are aligned through the spinal cord, but also it's there's a sound. Matter of fact, it's the scales, actually. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Each one of those nodes actually correlates with a different chakra. Do being the solar plexus. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. This do being up in the crown chakra. So because those sounds are directly innervated with one of the chakra points, you find sound bowls, right, which are created that inherently target that particular note, that particular frequency to help release tension, get the energy flowing, and basically restore wellness, calmness to the central nervous system, to the body, and to the mind. So it's beautiful, very highly effective, similar to binaural beats for those people out there that are familiar with binaural beats. I actually am a huge fan of binaural beats. If you come to my yoga classes in the DMV area, I tend to utilize loads of binaural beats, whether it be for flow, vinyasa, hatha, or yin.
And they're good to help you go to sleep if you have trouble sleeping.
Yes, absolutely. It's all about frequency. It's all about finding that rhythm and realigning ourselves with the sound of the universe, of creation, and harmony. Another way of saying that is Om.
All right. So then the next day they start their field day where they do a whole bunch of activities outside, and the people heading up this field day is none other than Mike and Jasmine. So they're called the bosses. So she has a shirt that says the real boss, and he has a shirt that says the boss, and that's perfect. That's just like their relationship is. So that was cool. So they do all these, and then they give themselves team names. So everybody on Mike and Jasmina's team, they're the Grave Diggers, and they versus the Undertakers.
Wait, shout out to Mike and Jasmina because they had cute matching
Yeah,
tees all
yeah.
weekend. Super cute.
Yeah. So it's Mike and Jasmina and Elijah Wan and Katina. And then no, it was Mike and Jasmina and Steve.
And Noi.
Noi on one team, and then Elijah Wan and Katina and Mark and Lindsay on the other team. So they did this. They did the flip cup. You know, you flip over. It's a drinking game, I think. Grave Diggers got that one. They did kickball. The Undertakers did that. They won that one. Mark and Lindsay talking about how competitive Mike and Jasmina look, but they not that good. That's what they're saying. They talking mess with each other. Dodgeball, the Grave Diggers won. Mike and Jasmina. Yeah, they were good activity directors. Now they move to inside the cabin and they do, what do we have? Never have I ever kind of game. They have these drinking games. This one's called Most Likely. So you ask and having dinner and drinks.
Oh, production.
So most likely to do what? And
production is so messy.
Yeah. I remember there was one question, who is most likely to get cosmetic surgery?
Oh, yeah. Who did they say that was?
That was Noi.
Noi, yeah.
Then who's most likely to be a good liar?
Jasmina, because she has a poker face.
Yeah. And then who is most likely to spend all the money?
Who is it?
Or no, who's likely to spend money on their spouse? And Mark said it was him. Everybody was laughing.
He's also currently not unemployed, but he's on leave.
Yeah, and then I think they said
keep forgetting.
Steve. Yeah, but anyway.
Well, Steve's got it.
Yeah, and
Steve's not hurting.
Yeah, and somehow Lindsay, I can't remember what she got mad about, but she's pissing everybody off at the game because she keeps. She can't take something. They said.
Most likely to start a fight.
Start a fight, yeah.
And she took offense to that because everybody
picked her.
Picked her.
Was most likely to start a fight.
This is Lindsay with a smile. With a plastered fake smile. Can I ask you why?
Yeah.
Before I lose my ish, can I ask you why? Because I'm about to lose my ish.
Yeah. And this says, I don't give a what y'all think.
I go to bed at night and I sleep well and I wake up rested in the morning and God loves me and everything is kosher and I love me. And it was like, whoa, Lindsay, okay.
And if looks could kill, Mark would be
this is Mark.
Murderer in there. Yeah, he's like
with his big wide-eyed look, like what just happened here?
Yep. And
we've seen this look on Mark's face numerous times already throughout the season.
I know.
Whenever Lindsay is off on a tangent.
Yeah, and Mark said something about like what she would be most likely to do, and I think it was lie about their sex life.
And this was said before, by the way.
Yeah.
Before Lindsay got upset, actually, one of the questions was who would be most likely to lie about their sex life. I think Steve said, Elijah Wan said him. Mm-hmm. And then Lindsay at some point chimed in and was like, that would be me because I tell him that it's good. Yeah, that was a low blow.
Low, man.
Yet again, she has managed to embarrass her husband. Like the amount of times that she has embarrassed Mark.
Emasculating.
I don't understand how she's okay with this, and frankly, how Mark is either, to be honest. Kudos to you, Mark. You have definitely more self-restraint than I think a lot of men would have in this situation, because she has done this repeatedly.
And then she got up in front of the group. See, this is why they get them liquored up. And she can't handle liquor. She was like, he's selfish in bed. And
TMI.
And then Mark was like, oh, yeah, she always paints the wrong picture.
Right. I wouldn't agree with what she says. I'll tell you this, Lindsay. The more you emasculate him and the more you put him down in front of everyone, instead of, doing it in a private, respectful way, the more likely that boner will to the point where one day it's just not even going to get up for you.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. You know what really set her off was the question was, who's most likely to lose this game? And then everybody picked her too. She was so pissed off.
Again, production, super messy.
Yeah, Mark just walks away at this point. He's like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. Mm-hmm. So he walks away from her, and Mike goes in to talk to Mark. Mm-hmm. Why is Mike trying to give advice? Like, he needs the most advice to deal with his own relationship. But anyway, that was nice of him, though.
Yeah.
So,
He tried.
Yeah. I mean, Mark talks about, like, how Lindsay got pissed because he used some of her kerosene. I mean, ain't they married?
Aren't you guys on a trip for 2 days? Like, share what you have. It's just 2 days.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what did you bring it up there for?
I mean, they in a fight. They in a fight. She always grabs his arm, and he don't like that when they fighting. I mean, she ain't gonna hurt him, but he just don't like being grabbed, I guess.
I wish we knew more about the context of that kerosene thing, because that sounded really petty and
It's hella petty.
yeah, it just sounded so unnecessary.
Yeah.
Are you wanting to build and grow with this man? Do you want to have children with him? Or do you want to not have to share your kerosene with anyone? Like, which one is more important to you? Have a family, have a partner, have a companion, have love, or get to have your kerosene all for yourself? I don't know.
Yeah, and then when Mark and Mike are talking, she comes down looking for him, and then Elijah Wan goes and grabs her and brings her back upstairs.
And thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
They eventually, after that, then they get into a fight. They arguing. And she's like telling him that his life is falling apart all the time. Like she's the only one that can help him.
She said that in the pool, too, to the ladies.
Yeah.
Which was another dig at Mark. Why are you putting his business out there like that?
Yeah, and then she asking, how do you honor me? How do you do for me? Like he never does anything for us, which,
Okay. This is so hard to digest because she literally is constantly embarrassing him, humiliating him, not honoring him by putting their sex life out there, his quote-unquote life that's falling apart out there, and yet somehow she feels like she's the
slighted.
one. Yeah, I'm so
she always
confused.
getting the short end of the stick.
If this is an editing thing, then okay, forgive me. But based on what we're seeing, it's actually the reverse, really and truly.
Yeah, he ain't doing nothing wrong that much.
He's human
to make her like always go off on him.
Yeah.
But so the next morning we find out she's sick. Maybe she ate something and drank. She's just drunk.
Probably.
So
alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, she need to go to urgent care, and then he's trying to drive, and she gets sick. They had to pull her over. It's crazy, but
he showed up though for her. I have to say.
Yeah, and they ended up leaving early because she was sick
after the mess that she created the night before.
Yeah,
the day before.
He's always left to clean up and say sorry to everybody. My wife was
true.
acting crazy. Sorry.
You know what? That's true.
Apologize on her behalf.
Man.
So yeah, I mean, while that's going on, everybody's back at the cabin and they're having breakfast before they leave out. So Noi says that now Noi starts talking, and she says that they're still working on their trust issues. Now they're at breakfast, and Jasmine did cook breakfast. I know she can cook, but anyway. So yeah, Noi talks about they still working on their trust issues, and Steve and Noi, they both was wearing animal print, so they together. Like I don't know why they can't get along sometimes. They seem like it's that smoky mirrors sometimes with some couples. They both are dressed up in the same thing. They try to make it for for appearances, sometimes. But Elijah Wan, now he admits he's kind of in love.
Well, he uses the word love.
Yeah, and then everybody's like poking him. Oh, you in love? Oh, it's like, oh. But so Mike then admits that Jasmine cares for him, because they was talking about the medium, and he was like, I know she cares about me because she was crying hearing my story and stuff. She just got a heart. I don't know if she in love with you though, but she cares for you.
Yeah, she definitely cares.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see a little bit of affection, because they held hands.
Yeah.
They held hands.
Yeah.
That was a really nice.
A few times they
Yeah.
are affectionate. And then we go back to Mark and Lindsay. So he's at the hospital, just showed up for her. And then while that's going on, we go to Mike and Jasmine. It's just like Mike has missed so many opportunities to be intimate with her, like grab her, like touch her, like if y'all married, you got to try. But he's just like, he's so respectful to where like she probably think like he not even attracted to her because he don't,
How do you think he should do it? How do you think should he cup her face? How should he go in gently for a kiss? Because she could always decline and pull back.
Yeah, he should.
How should he do it? Show the people.
He should go.
I mean, more gentle than that, right? But like,
no, it's too late now. You gotta take it. You gotta take it. No.
Don't follow that advice.
It's just so many moments he had to like,
right.
Hug her, grab her. Always keep that hand. Keep that touch.
Yeah.
After a while, she'll start getting like, woo.
Even in the car, like reach over to her. Reach over, put your hand on her.
Yeah, because when they're leaving, he's carrying his bags and she's carrying her bags. Like he didn't carry her bags as the husband.
Mike.
It's like, I got this.
Cazzo, scherziamo, Mike, dai. Dai, Mike, you know better than this. Mike, ti prego.
What she said. And then,
you know better.
So we go back to Steve and Noy, and she admits that she's holding on. Oh, yeah, it's about the moving out thing. So she said that they should live separately, be married and live separately. And now she kind of admits that she's holding on to her studio because it's the reminder of that she made it on her own. She came out there to meet somebody else that didn't work out, but she was able to get her own studio and all this stuff. So for her, it's like she's having trouble letting go of stuff mentally. Steve doesn't believe that she's taking this marriage seriously with that live separately thing. So
I think there's a compromise. That compromise is Noy. Airbnb that place out, sublet it, make some skrilla off of it. Bob's your uncle.
Keep it. I mean, invested.
There's nothing wrong with holding on to it.
Yeah.
But if you want to be married,
yeah.
I mean,
you might want to kind of live together at least.
Well, at least if you're raising a family, right? I know people have different iterations and versions of what marriage looks like for them, but I don't see how when you're a young couple that wants to raise, she says, 3 children together.
Yeah.
Within, by next year, she wants to have her first child. So not really sure how you're going to be able to do that from your studio.
All right. So what did you think about this episode?
Because I'm getting tired of these people and their messiness. No offense, guys. No, I'm not tired of you per se as humans. I'm just saying that I feel like this season is dragging. And sometimes I feel like, the episodes can be condensed so that we get to the point a little bit quicker. So my patience is wearing a little bit thin. So therefore, I'm going to give you guys a 6.5 out of 10 on this. I think it's time to wrap the season up.
Yeah, same. I give it about a 6. So, I mean, that episode was done. So now we got episode 15. Mm-hmm. That's called Past Lives. And so this episode starts off with Jasmine and Michael So they talk to each other. No, they talk about meeting the psychic. They talk about the meeting with the psychic, right? So they talk about that meeting, how it went with the psychic. And she says that they haven't fought regularly. You know, they've been pretty good lately. And they seem to be in good spirits.
They appear to be drama free.
Drama free.
They're probably the only couple, actually. Well, they're spark free. they're drama free. They're love free.
Sex free.
So I guess when there's no spark, no passion, no love, it's easy to get on.
It's easy to get on because now they're just acquaintances.
Because you're not invested.
Yeah.
So there's the magical formula.
And then we got Katina and Elijah Wan. And she feels like, you know, she's calling him her baby daddy. He contemplates if he could bear sacrificing. Like he's talking about like their plans for her to get pregnant, go to school and all this stuff. And he's like, do I really want to sacrifice traveling and all this stuff to have a kid? Yeah, he's not even 30.
How old is Katina?
She's 30.
You guys have so much time.
Yeah, I mean, they want to travel. Take a year and travel.
Take a year and travel. You guys are both going to be great income earners. Both of you are going to make great money. She's studying to be a nurse. He's already doing well for himself. It's going to be a nice, high-income household. You'll have the opportunity to travel for a year and a half. 2 years even, and then start your family.
Yeah, I mean, they both got family in the city, so they got support. So just don't worry about that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so then the guys, now everybody has to show everybody where they came from, where they grew up, and each person has to write a letter to their younger selves. This was a production had that going on. So we go to Jasmine and Michael first. So we see Jasmine's childhood home. She's reminiscing about in front of her old high school. And then she reads her letter, and it's pretty sad about how she got bullied and how her parents left. And yeah, it's a real somber moment. And then we find out why she became a teacher, because there was a teacher she connected with, and that led her on her journey to be a teacher. Mike is, trying to hold it in. Like, he hugs her, but I don't know. He could have just held on to her while she's talking. But,
Hold on to your lady.
Hold on to your love.
Oh, hold on to your love.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't Sade have one too?
Hold on. Huh?
Hold on to your love. Sade.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
so we got En Vogue too. But hold on.
Hold on to your love. You've got to hold on.
Okay. All right.
Hold on, baby. Hold on.
Oh, so many hold-ons. We got to go through all of them.
So if the musicians are saying it, if the singers are telling you, pay attention. Hold on, Mike.
You can get some nuggets out of this music sometimes.
Hold on.
All right. So then we go to Mike and Lindsay, and she starts by saying that she's still upset over Mark's comments that she's too much.
Stop. You telling me that Lindsay picks another fight? Impossible.
No. And then
she's learned her lesson by now, has she not? After she's humiliated her husband.
She says he needs to find a lesser woman.
After he showed up for you, took you to the hospital, even after you desecrated him.
He's like, he needs time. He needs, like, it's like when you mess with somebody before they had coffee. Like, sometimes they just needed time to adjust when they wake up. They can't be like, some people are just like that. He seems like that kind of person.
I think, no shade here, I truly, and I think I may have said this before, Lindsay, 100% to me, addicted to drama. She doesn't want peace. Because when you want peace, you create peace.
Yep.
So, and I'm speaking as someone who used to create a lot of drama.
I couldn't believe it, but she says it. All right, so now Elijah Wan is showing Katina.
The shade.
Elijah Wan shows Katina his humble beginnings, the projects, and we didn't believe it. We just thought, since he's half white, he grew up in the
I mean, not to
suburbs.
stereotype, but
Yeah,
that's
but
what we figured.
yeah. So
Incidentally, it's the reverse with these two.
Yeah.
Katina, who grew up in
Katina grew
an
up-
all-black household, was in the burbs.
in the burbs and had a slightly better upbringing than he did. So that was good to see.
Roll switch.
Yeah. So we got Dr. Peppers, like Elijah Wan says, it's Dr. Pepper, not Dr. Peppers. But Mark and Lindsay talks to her about their struggles, misunderstandings, and arguments that drain him. Of course, that's draining for anybody.
And us. It's draining us.
Yeah. And Lindsay talks like she's done. She said, "I'm throwing my wall back up. I'm done. Blah blah blah. Yeah. She needs to give him. Oh no. So Dr. Pepper says that he just needs to give her more attention. And they talk about like what she doesn't like about him, and it's like, I try all your food. Like she talks about he doesn't try any new food or doesn't like anything that he tries, but he tries it at least. But he just, he is the way he is. Ketchup, meat, bread,
Potatoes.
and potatoes. That's it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's just saying, let me get there. Like you gotta meet me, and then allow me to move slowly up to, especially things like with the palate.
Yeah.
This man does not like vegetables. He is on a rival gang member to vegetables. So like his vegetables, here's the rival gang. This is Mark on this side. He gang banging with the vegetables. So yeah, he's
Do it
saying
for
he
your
needs
semen.
to go there.
Do it for your semen.
Well,
A
he
clean
could be
diet means clean semen.
He needs to know that. All right, moving right along. Michael and Jasmine. They go to his old spot, his old house. It's pretty sad. Then he reads his letter. Of course, it's sad. Like she really feels sorry for him. Like
Yeah.
he always gets her with the sadness.
Right.
But he needs to like try to use that to get her. Some way he needs to.
But even she can use that as an opportunity to lean in,
Yeah.
to lean in, hug, hold, comfort, soothe, look into his eyes, and that creates intimacy.
I don't think they look in each other's eyes.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you have to participate in creating some intimacy. These are opportunities that you have to get physically close, to make eye contact, and then you take it from there. That's how it starts. But every time, they share something about their past that gets the other one emotional, they're both kind of stoic over here.
Yeah, they're weird.
Like, I feel for you. I'm sorry that you went through that. My heart is aching for you, but there's nothing physical to kind of accompany that.
Yeah, they both kind of shy, bashful, I think. They're
Yeah, I don't
extroverts, but they introverts when it comes to intimacy.
Yeah, I guess.
They're
so.
rival
I
gang
don't know.
members to intimacy, too.
His analogy, not mine.
got
But
you.
yeah, I get you.
That's for my boy, my man. All right, so, I use Simple P's analogies there. But anyway,
Whose analogies?
a gentleman named Sinful P.
Oh, is he a YouTuber?
Yeah.
All right, fellow YouTuber.
All right, so Stephen Noy, he shows her his childhood home where people are still living there. His parents, his family is still living in a childhood home. And so he brings
That's kinda
Noy over
cool.
there. Yeah, they've been
kinda
living there
cool.
forever. And, he's showing her the pictures and all the picture books and all that stuff and photo albums. And then he finds a track that he made back in 2001 called Get Down. It was a local hit. They're playing it on a radio station. You call in for that joint, been the 10th caller, you win tickets to see them perform. Okay, it wasn't all that, but they played the song. The song was kind of funny. It was a kind of a micro mix of some reggaeton mixed with some electronica, mixed with some rap, some club music. I don't know, it was all over the place, but it sounded pretty good. Interesting enough, he was voted best dancer in high school. And
He's a creative.
yeah, they doing this in front of
He really
his
is a
mom.
creative.
And she's happy, she remembers his song, was singing along with it. And then Noise says, "I can't believe I married a rapper." All right, Noise, pump your brakes
Settle
a little
down.
bit. Yeah, just settle down now.
But he does have money.
He's got some money, he comfy.
Watch him reveal after a decision that he's like a multi-millionaire.
Oh man,
Bam!
she better say yes, because she gonna be hurting. She gonna be hurting if she don't say.
Like, you passed the ultimate test, Noi. And now, allow me to reveal to you my investment portfolio.
I hope she has a lifeline. Somebody call her and say, "Keep him, girl."
Steve is not stressed. He's doing fine.
He never been stressed. She got to see that.
She's the only one that's been stressed about his situation. He has not been stressed, not for a second, over it. Yeah. So that tells me he's straight. Yeah. Like, he's good.
Okay, so now we go to Mark and Lindsay. They take, she takes Mark's, his 14-year-old cat goes to the vet. Something happens. Yeah. And that's a pretty sad moment. Like, this cat, his eyes, something wrong with him, but they up in a veterinarian's place, just waiting. But anyway, now we go back to Katina and Elijah Wan. We didn't see where she grew up at. She just brings him to her old church, which was kind of threw me off. I'm like, everybody's showing where they lived at. Like, a couple of people didn't show.
But hang on. Did she ever show us where she lives in Boston and if she had a flatmate? Did we ever see that?
Who, Katina?
Yeah, I don't think we did. I think Katina might be...
Oh, yeah, she got to keep it. Yeah, she can't really say anything.
I mean, I've seen her sport a couple of Yeezys. Mm-hmm. And if she's a student, I mean, I don't know.
Studying to be a nurse. Hey, she's
studying to be a nurse. She's got great wigs. And either she modeled before and she has loads of money put away and she's not trying to show off, or maybe she comes from family who's comfortable and conservative.
Yeah, I think she's a good one. Like, if he mess up with her, it's gonna be hard. But
black families with money tend to be conservative. Has been my experience. What say you?
Yeah.
So
nobody's really that flashy. When they really have money.
When they really have money, they're not going to say, come on in, Lifetime, with your cameras.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Keep that stuff over there.
Yeah. But they have a conversation about kids, and they both want kids, and with her studying and stuff. But then they just they really just agree on raising the child in the church, like having the religion,
that foundation
in the family. Foundation, Christian or Catholic.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, at least they're on the same page.
As a believer in God,
that.
just not organized religion.
Yeah. And so. All right, so now Dr. Pepper comes to see Jasmine and Mike. Jasmine says that they haven't had a conflict in quite a while. Same old stuff. She's not feeling connected to him. He's not vulnerable enough. Mm-hmm. Well, he's a little bit more now, but I'm not getting moist down there. Basically, that's what she's moving. Nothing's moving down there.
Lubricating.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper says she needs to be less independent. Yeah. Because she's so independent. She don't need anybody. They still not having sex or kissing, but they talking about kids. Like, when is this? What are we doing? Like, what are they doing here?
Is the stork going to deliver this baby for you all?
I mean, either they going to have, like, the craziest sex when they finally do it, or they just not ever going to do it. I'm just like, why don't somebody do something, make a move? Okay. Yeah. Did you have anything to add to that?
Just that I hope that they work it out. I think that there could be something pretty good there if they can push through this awkwardness, this phase that they're in, and if they could be a little bit more invested with each other. Because for me, one of the reasons why they're not arguing anymore is because I think that Jasmine, either subconsciously or consciously, has kind of already decided that it's not that she doesn't care, basically, right? There's no passion there. So she's happy to just get along and in order to get to decision day, because at this point, whether she knows it or not, she's kind of already just made a decision.
Yeah.
Right? Because when people are still invested and they're fighting for stuff, you see that. There's passion. Right now, she's just like, there's nothing to fight about because I don't care.
Yeah.
And she may not even know that's what's going on, but I think that's why we're not seeing any kind of friction or any kind of even just evolution in terms of their intimacy. And I think that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because they look good together, but, gotta, whatever. So now we go back to Steve and Noi, and they see, they can't show Noi because she's not from Boston, but she did write the letter to herself, and she reads that letter, and we found out that she felt like she was a burden on her family because, they was refugees, and she's like, they had a lot of people to feed, a lot of kids to feed, and she just, wasn't able to express herself or, so she felt like she really, didn't belong. She's talking about her mother working so hard at the chicken factory with blood stains on her face every night. And I don't know, it's pretty sad. But then we go to Mark and Lindsay, and Lindsay wants to take him to her old place where she used to run away or hang out in the woods. And mind you, they walking up through the woods, and she's still talking about him and like, how his life is falling apart and how she's there for him and stuff. And like she's used to anything going on with him because he's sad. And so she's turning him down without turning him down, but she's turning him down. So she dragged this guy into the woods, and she's wearing her boots. This dude is wearing his nice white sneakers, his nice white sweatshirt. And
what a
she's
day
like
to choose to wear white.
Yeah, and then she's like, yes, no contextual clues. Like, he might not want to go in the woods today because he got on white tennis shoes and stuff.
If that were me and I saw you dressed like that, especially since we've not seen Mark dressed like this before, where everything is so crisp and clean, I would say, hey, I'm going to take you somewhere today where you might want to change out of this.
Yeah, I'm going to take you hiking.
Not even spoiling. Well, not even having to spoil, but
clothes.
Just trust me when I tell you, you're not going to want to wear these shoes and this top right here where we're going. That's all she needed to say. She couldn't even give the guy a heads up. Yeah, had those roles been reversed, she would have gone through the roof.
Yeah, because he's looking crisp and fresh.
Because he's trying to stand. He's standing like this. Like, I'm not trying to move because I don't want any mulch or mud or anything on my white kicks. I don't want these branches and these trees to touch my white sweatshirt. So he was stiff like a board.
Yeah, she's like going underneath these in these woods, and she's like, I used to sleep in here. He's like, I ain't going in there. Like, when is
He's
this
like,
stuff
take
over?
A picture. Just bring me the photo of where it is that you used to sleep in there.
But so yeah, she starts talking about her childhood and how she thought her house wasn't for her. Like, she wasn't supposed to be in her family because her father worked all the time. Her mother was a housewife, but she wasn't good in being a domestic, partner. She just felt she wasn't taken care of. Nobody took care of her, and she, in her letter, she even calls herself sassy and outspoken. So, I mean, she knows what she is and what she's doing, She's been hearing she's too much her entire life. So, yeah, I guess that's a real trigger. But it's true. So, it is what it is. Like, if you too much, I mean, you just own it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm too much, right?
Yeah.
So if you've been hearing it your whole life, that's your personality. I don't know.
You own it or you change it. You have two options. You have a say in it, basically. You get to either own it proudly. Yeah, I am a lot. I'm not for everyone.
He's saying she is, but he ain't saying it's a real problem for him. He's just saying, like, I noticed what it is. I just got to figure out how to, make it jive with me. Yeah. So Mark and Lindsay, we go back to them. Oh yeah, we go to her. No, his childhood home.
Which is not in the woods. It's just a
Nah,
home.
it's very nice, and I don't know, nothing much there. Steve and Noy, Dr. Pepper. Oh yeah, we found out that Dr. Pepper agrees with this living separately thing that Noy wants to do because Dr. Pepper lives separately from her husband.
Wait, can I just go back to the Mark and Lindsay thing for a second? Because when they were at Mark's house and he got emotional, he was crying, right? Did I remember that correctly?
Yeah.
She kind of leans in and is like comforting and loving towards him. And I'm just like, for me, Lindsay, I have to say the flip flop is a little bit, it's a little bit, I don't want to use the words too much because I know it's triggering, but it's uncomfortable to watch how you can shame him and humiliate him in public, and then you can turn around and also be extremely loving. I get it. There's polarity and duality in everyone and everything, but I think it's good to reduce sort of the amount of contradiction in between those two. Because honestly, for Mark, I have to say that I would be confused. Like, well, are you going to be the person that humiliates me? Or are you going to be the person that comforts me and consoles me? Because I can't trust you to be the one to comfort and console me if I know that at the drop of a dime, you can also humiliate me, in front of everyone. It's not even in private, but you're putting it out for everyone to see. So that's all. I just wanted to put that in.
Yeah. I wonder, like, have they watched? Yeah. After they watch themselves in this season, I think a lot of people be changing like their whole persona. So now we go back to Elijah Wan and Katina speaking to Dr. Pepper. He seems like he's trying to catch himself before he goes off or gets loud. He's watching his tone. He don't want to, make her sad anymore.
Or disrespect her.
Yeah. And then they have a disagreement about if they would, about the kids, like her working, like, can you really work, go to school and have kids? Like, he just want to make sure he ain't going to be the only one taking care of the household. Because he still wants his dinner and his meals and her to work and take care of the kids and all that
He
stuff.
wants Superwoman.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how if he's going to, step up and take care of some of the duties because she's not that type of person. I don't know. I'm like really confused on them. Like, I think they're gonna say yes, but I don't see how it's gonna work unless he's changing or ready to be more hands on and not expect her to take on the whole domestic role by herself.
Yeah, because and I'm so curious about what arrangement or agreement they have. Is it that because he owns the home that he's planning to continue to pay all the bills when she moves in? And that's why he expects her to be able to do the domestic work and to go to school at the same time and to work. Because if that's the case, then, that could be maybe acceptable for some people, for sure. But otherwise, why are you not okay with being a partner and just supporting her for the next 2 years? Because there might be a time in your life, because you never know what can happen in life, where you might need to be supported by her. And she'll be a nurse. She'll always have work as a nurse, right? So who knows what could happen? Injury, illness, or who knows, anything, Or maybe you just decide that you no longer want to work and you want to pursue something else, and it might take you a while. You might want to go to school in future, right? I'm going to school now, for instance, right? So you just never know. If you had told me my 20s when I was getting my degree in economics from a top school in Canada, that I would now be taking a completely different route at this point in my life, I would have never believed this. What I'm saying is you never know. And I have a partner, thankfully, that's okay with me being in school and studying, right? So this is what it means to be partners, is that there's going to be ebb and flow. There's going to be times when you're going to support her. There's going to be times when she, believe me, throughout the course of your life, will support you. You just never know in life. So this is why I don't understand why he is so rigid about the fact that she has to have all of her ducks lined up in a row. Like, life is simply not going to interfere and it's going to go this way.
We've been programmed from TV to be like, oh, he wants to be the one that comes, honey, I'm home. Put the briefcase down or his work boots or whatever. Sit down, have a beer and drink and food. Yeah, those days are few and far between, depending on the kind of woman you meet. So he's meeting, their city dwellers. He's gonna have to step up while if he's supporting her while she's in school. I mean, he has to do the work because it's for both of them. It's a team effort, right?
That word
So it's
that he
team.
just used.
She goes to school, she gets her bachelor's, she becomes a nurse, and then bam, she got that. They have kids, and then they co-parent as a married couple.
That's the key word right there is team. When you have a team, you can't say, oh, you can't be on the bench for now, or, you're going to substitute for each other. Okay, I'm going to step up to the plate now.
Yeah.
That's literally what a team is. It's like you take turns. Sometimes you're on the bench, sometimes you're on the field, vice versa.
Yeah. I think he'd get a lot more fulfillment out of the fact that, if he does this, he's supporting her while she works on her dream, and he's supporting the house, and then that's a good feeling to stay after a while. And then who knows, when he gets in older age and she has to work and he wants to retire, then they good. She does her nurse thing, and I mean people gotta have foresight. That's it. But she's all right.
If
So
she was a bum and not getting a degree and not doing anything, I'd say, okay, I could see why you might be reluctant. She's going to be a whole nurse.
yeah.
Like, there is not ever going to be a time where she will be out of work. Period.
Yeah. Like, this is a good reason. This is a
To
very
support
good
her.
excuse for him to start doing.
And what people don't realize about nursing, apart from the fact that it's very noble and it's a great career path to pursue and it's well paying, is that actually as a nurse, you get to bypass a lot of the red tape to work in other countries, for instance. If, for instance, you guys wanted to go and work in the Middle East for a couple of years, she could go work in Dubai like this. They would pay her probably double or triple what she will get paid in the U.S. Tax-free money. You could do that for a couple. Like her nurses and teachers have the ability to literally cross borders and work virtually anywhere. There's such high demand for teachers and nurses, especially teachers and nurses that were educated in the West. She's set. Any state, any country, she will work. That opens it up. If they want to go travel, take a year abroad, she'll have more ease. It'll be an easier transition for her to work than it would be for him with his skill set. This is a winner. I would keep her.
Yeah. But she admits that he acquires a lot of attention, and that could be draining, which they find out. But they still need to find a resolution. And he says that, I mean, it's funny in a confessional camera how he's like, if I was her, I would just kind of like take it on myself and follow my dreams. It's kind of like he's saying he could let her go because she's not with his program. Like she's got other goals, and that he don't want to hold her back kind of thing. That was really weird for him to say. This is like, does he want her or doesn't he? Or he just don't want her because of this thing. Like he doesn't want to work it out. You don't want to make out a plan to where like, okay, yeah, you can do this. You follow your dreams, you get this done. And while we have a baby, like instead of saying, yeah, we could do this, he's like, nah, I don't think that's going to work.
Based on what?
Yeah, it's impatient. And based on fairy tale he watched on TV, he wants that before the nuclear traditional family.
You know what's wild? He thinks that 2 years is a long time. If he divorces her, God forbid, it's not like he's going to be remarried and have a family with someone else in less than that time anyways. If you were to meet someone 6 months down after the divorce, then they begin dating conventionally. Then they get engaged. Then they get married. Then they have kids. That's still what? Easily a couple of years away.
He's still young. I mean, just thinking like a young person. They can't see the forest for the trees.
You're not saving any time.
Yeah. Okay, so
is that it for this episode?
That is it.
All right.
For both episodes. What did you think about this episode? What would you rate it?
Slightly better, but really looking forward again to this season wrapping up. I will give this episode a 7 this time.
Give it a 6.5.
You're marginally impressed.
Yeah, marginally. All right, y'all. So that's it for our review of Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 14 and 15. And with that, what's your last words?
Get free and then stay free.
Stay decent.
Bye.
Bye.